Everybody knew that the V4 was actually the correct engine from an engineer's performance route. And then when we looked at it from a brand perspective, it seemed the very best engine.
There's not really a proper British motorcycle out there, and you could look at a Ducati and take the badge off the tank, or an MV, you know, it's very Italian. Japanese bikes have their own sort of design quality, and you can tell what they are. But what's really British?
What we've done is had a good look at where the competition is and where the marketplace is and what people are looking for. And then in that very British, authentic way, we've tried to move the bar a little bit with this bike, with the chassis and the swing arm, and the carbon and the electronics, and a V4 1200 banging out north of 200 horse. And really tried to look at where's the competition today and how do we take that on and beat it.
A V4 is a very premium engine configuration, so if a Honda or an Aprilia is a V4, it tends to be quite a high spec bike. So it suits us, and then it's got a lot of character, it's got a lot of noise, and it sounds fantastic. The downside is they're a little bit dear to make, which is why they're not really that mainstream. But again, that suits what we're doing here.
And what we've looked at with Norton is let's not do a bike that's lesser spec. Let's make sure we at least get to where the cream of the market is today, and then go past that in the way that Norton has done with its Dominator and its Domi Racer and the SE Commando range. So we go past it with some performance, we go past it with some handling and some electronics, but then you get the exclusivity and the hand-built British Norton that just kind of delivers everything with a little bit more swagger and a little bit more exclusivity than the mass market superbikes that are out there today.
It is interesting at the TT when you sit in the crowd, which is quite rare for us, and John McGuinness rides past and all his supporters stand and cheer, or Michael Dunlop rides past and his supporters stand and cheer. And when a Norton goes past, everybody stands and cheers. It's just a really evocative name and evocative brand, and I think there's a little bit of the underdog and the Dunkirk spirit about what we do here, taking on the might of the Japanese and BMW, and that's what it's all about. It's just a real British thing.
We decided early on that we needed to go back to the TT. You know, we won the first one in 1907, and we wanted some pedigree and to be building some information about modern sports bikes. And the best place for us to go and do that was the TT. There's endurance, the speed, there's all the dynamic of a racing motorbike in breadth and depth at the TT, which you might not get at a short circuit. So we've gone back to the TT and kind of taken that head on. SG5 is our latest race bike, which we've raced this year. Best lap was 131 miles an hour, and we've placed a 7th in Superbike in that, which we're pretty pleased with.
Originally racing at the TT, and the reason we used the Aprilia V4 engine because it enabled us to build a chassis with very close geometry and weight distribution to what we wanted from the road bike. Then we got the funding that enabled us to apply a high level of engineering to what we already had as a TT bike to move that on again. And the results are there. We came from 18th to 7th with the same motor, so we had the same power. We developed the electronics package. We were enabled to engineer frame stiffness and characteristics into the bike that we sort of had to guess at before. Now it's at quite a high level of engineering, and we've produced the fastest British bike ever around the Isle of Man. If a bike works well at the TT, it'll work well on the road.
And the geometry is very important. We're doing 80, 90, 100 mile an hour sweeping right left turns, going over the bumps, and then getting the power on at 100, 120 mile an hour, etc. And it's a road course, so to be able to get the bike to set up and work so that, yeah, we can shorten the bike and make it turn, but then it's unstable. And if we lengthen the bike, it's stable, but it doesn't turn. And optimising that for the road gives you a lovely handling road-going bike. Optimising on the track where you've got a billiard surface tarmac doesn't really give you an optimum experience for the road. So when we say we're race developed, we're road race developed. And we think that's the best way to test your road bike as opposed to short circuit developed. And it's horses for courses for sure, and some lads will take the new V4 on a track day and it'll be ace for that. But it's a very, very pure development process that we've done at the TT and road racing that's going to give us a very, very strong all-round capability with the platform that we've put together.
entirely our own engine, designed from scratch in conjunction with Ricardo. Interestingly, we've packaged and designed the motorcycle at the same time as the motor to enable us to put the exhaust pipes here and the oil filter there and the starter motor there, and we've made an incredibly compact package.
The lads race the TT and you think it's pretty well just kind of a production road bike that somebody's purchased, you know, the old kind of super stocker showroom kind of thing. But actually when you go and have a look, the technology that goes into that with the electronics and the suspension setup and all the small bits that get the bike to the point of performance to top 10 to podium, the things bristle with technology.
It needs a competitive level of electronics, and what I mean is it will have launch control, anti-wheelie, auto down blip, obviously a quick shift or upshift. It's got traction control, so it all functions through a 8-inch full-colour LCD screen, rear view camera, fly-by-wire throttles, cruise control, so it's going to have a high level of specification. We don't think we need an infinite amount of traction control settings. It's not that type of bike, it's not a Nissan GTR, it's an Aston Martin. So we need 1 or 2 settings and be able to turn it off and have some fun. I think the stance of the bike, the quality and the details are far and above, I hope, that anything else that other people are putting out at the moment. I want to be able to see something new on the bike every time you walk up to it for years to come. It's
a very, very special product and something that will move that kind of super bike on a little bit in the marketplace. So we're very excited to bring the bike forwards, and you know, we can't wait to get it out there and get some sold, delivered and see what the guys think of it. But for us, it's an incredibly exciting bike and another chapter in Norton's future.